JAX was acting too weird in the second episode, constantly wanting chaos. But it was also the first time we saw him sad for a second. Gooseworks wasn't fooling us when she said JAX would be a real bastard in the second episode of The Amazing Digital Circus. JAX's behavior in episode 2 was definitely nothing like how JAX acted to those around him in pilot. And maybe, as long as we don't suspect anything, JAX will be the next to be abstracted, and it won't happen until episode 4 at the earliest. I found evidence for all of this. By the way, somewhere in the video, I hid a picture of Caine, and anyone who finds it will get one terrifying theory about JAX in the comments. And I'd like to start by explaining why JAX is so close to being abstracted. At the time of the beginning of the pilot, JAX seemed perfectly calm. He was doing things that were distasteful to the other characters, but I would say that JAX just always did things that he himself wanted to do. A lot of viewers found that very endearing. I can confidently say that after the pilot, JAX was the audience's favorite character, or one character that the audience loved more than the others. But in the second episode, JAX's character was revealed in a whole new way. And in the last episode, some of JAX's behaviors raised a huge number of questions. Many viewers stopped liking JAX completely. But why did JAX change so much? In the pilot, JAX seemed carefree and fun in every situation. He seemed the most confident of all the characters. But that wasn't the case for the rest of the episode. JAX stopped being calm and confident about everything as soon as he saw the abstracted Kaufmo. At this point, he naively tricked Pomni and Ragatha as if he was completely calm, and Kaufmo was okay. But JAX at this point fled from that place as fast and as far away from Kaufmo as possible. He left Ragatha and Pomni one-on-one with Kaufmo. Afterward, JAX claimed to absolutely everyone he met that Kaufmo was fine and feeling great. There was no problem here. However, JAX felt uneasy when he saw one of the gloinks start glitching due to Kaufmo's presence. At this point, he told Gangle that everything would be fine, but then anxiously looked around the room. I think JAX was looking for a quick escape from here. The fact is that becoming abstracted is something every character fears. Pomni has this fear more pronounced than the others, because she is very new to the digital circus. The other characters are also very anxious and afraid of getting glitches, like Ragatha, or becoming abstracted, like Kaufmo. And all the characters have developed their own psychological defense mechanisms against this danger. I'm pretty sure JAX is very afraid of abstracting himself, which is why he avoids even an extra mention of the possibility. He can't admit to anyone that Kaufmo has actually abstracted. JAX doesn't want to believe even the possibility of such an outcome, but when he saw an abstracted Kaufmo, he ran out of there without a second thought. The only thing that scared him in the Gloink Queen's lair was a glitch in one of the little Gloinks. JAX's approach to confronting madness and dark thoughts has a much different approach than all the other characters. Fans once asked Gooseworks on Tumblr if they could get any facts about JAX. Gooseworks wrote that JAX is actually a weak loser who has no friends. I want to address the final scene of the second episode when the abstracted Kaufmo's wake took place. Pomni was able to really see how much the people who are trapped in the digital circus with her care about each other. This helped Pomni tremendously in a difficult moment. Her dream ended with almost all of the other characters catching her by the hand and keeping her from falling into the abyss and abstraction. JAX's situation is quite different. He's the only character who chose to leave Kaufmo's wake, and his hand Pomni didn't see in her dream, because JAX is not considered a friend by anyone. All the other characters are different from JAX in that they are able to do more than just run away from the problems and difficulties in front of them. The other characters are able to rally around each other and support each other in an important moment. JAX is prevented by something from becoming part of the digital circus company for real. This is something we don't know for sure at this point. JAX has chosen the path of constant avoidance of problems and negative emotions. JAX left Kaufmo's wake because he is afraid of his feelings. JAX feels that if he lets his negative emotions out and shows them to everyone around him, he will lose the last shreds of respect in their eyes. Also, because of his sadness and grief, he can become so out of balance that he becomes deranged and abstracted. It is abstraction that JAX fears the most in the digital circus. It's the same reason he's so cheerful and excited at the beginning of the second episode. He likes to participate in all the new adventures from Caine as much as possible. For JAX, this presents an opportunity for escapism. In the battle against the alligator bandits, JAX wants to forget for just one day that he is stuck in a deadly trap from which no one has been able to find a way out. And that's why he was so disappointed at the end of the episode when the epic final battle that JAX wanted to take part in just didn't happen. But why is it so important for JAX to walk away from his negative feelings instead of asking others for help and getting support from his friends. There could be several reasons for this. Gooseworks was asked a question on Tumblr about why JAX bullies girls so often. The creator replied that JAX has his own personal psychological issues that he hasn't worked through with himself yet. My first theory is that JAX in reality had serious socialization problems in society. I think JAX was long influenced by a toxic environment where only strength was respected. JAX himself is not evil. He had to adapt to such conditions to survive and gain favor with those around him. He just doesn't know how to live any other way. So JAX tries to make all the other people in the digital circus respect himself by showing his strength. I also think that JAX in real life probably had problems in his family. Psychologist and thinker Carl Gustav Jung said that a man's deviant behavior towards the opposite sex is evidence of a traumatic experience in a man that is connected to the main woman in his life, his mother. When you consider the fact that JAX's bullying is hardly directed towards Kinger, but only towards the girls in the digital circus, I come to think that JAX had serious family problems with his mother. My second theory is that JAX did something while already in the digital circus that made him never be able to find common ground with the rest of the people. In Tumblr, Gooseworks was asked what was the worst and most immoral thing JAX had done in all of time. Gooseworks replied that we can see it with our own eyes. And there are two possibilities here. The first is that JAX did the horrible thing before Pomni got to the digital circus, and we'll see it as a flashback from the past in a future episode. I mentioned in one of the videos that it's likely that JAX had a big fight with Gangle, and at that moment caused Gangle's joy mask to break for the first time ever. The second possibility is that due to the stress and fear in the digital circus, JAX will get worse and worse with each new episode. This will make him behave even more rudely. Eventually, he will do something unforgivable. I feel like he's going to leave one of the characters in need of help because of the glitches. My theory is that it will be in episode 4 that the truth about JAX will be revealed to us. In this episode, the characters will go to a haunted house where they will be psychologically challenged. Based on the information we know, I believe that the 4th episode will focus most on Gangle, Kinger, and JAX. Kinger will be so scared that he will decide to use a shotgun. Gangle will tell the others about her past and how the mask of joy and the mask of sadness matter to her. JAX may not be able to take the strain of a direct heart-to-heart talk face-to-face. For him, this will be the turning point of the entire show. At this point, JAX will either finally open up to all the other characters and be accepted and helped, or JAX will be the one who gets abstracted in episode 4. What are your thoughts on this? Is JAX avoiding negative feelings, or is his strategy different? Will he abstract himself in episode 4, or will the others be able to help him? Write your theories in the comments and I'll be sure to read them. The best comments will make it into the new videos. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Good luck everyone, and bye-bye.